Australians love a good ute and we also love an SUV. What do you get if you put them together? The answer is the Ford Everest. It's a family wagon based on the Ford Ranger ute. It's got immense off-road potential and it's pretty comfortable on the inside too. Let's put it to the test. The Everest has plenty in common with its ute-based cousin, though there are key differences between the pair. While they both have a rugged body-on-frame design, the wagon has completely different suspension, with comfort-focused coil springs in place of the Ranger's load-rated underpinnings. It is so much more comfortable on the road than a Ranger. You really do notice it. As soon as you get into the car, it's quieter, it's more refined. The suspension is much more supple and compliant, and it's just generally a much nicer place to be than the Ranger Ute. Really big praise for this sort of car because the Ranger is definitely one of the best in its class when it comes to refinement. And for this to kick it up another level really does show that Ford has put a huge effort into the way that this thing drives. Under the bonnet, the Everest has a revised version of the Ranger's 3.2 litre 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine. Tuned to make 143 kilowatts and 470 newton meters, the engine is smooth and powerful, driving all four wheels through a variable mode four-wheel drive system designed to tackle any surface. Now, it's available in Australia only with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Other countries get the option of a manual or even 4-cylinder engines, but for now, Ford Australia is going with its tried and true spec of a big diesel and an automatic, just the way Australians like it. One of the methods Ford has used to try and make this car fairly quiet and refined on the road is active noise cancellation. Now, it's the sort of stuff you'll find in noise cancelling headphones. Basically, the stereo of the car emits a frequency that tries to cancel out what the engine is emitting in terms of noise and low frequency vibration. The Everest is available with plenty of technology new to the segment, including forward collision mitigation, active cruise control, lane keeping assistance, and a self-parking system made possible by the brand's new electronic power steering system. What that means in practice is that when you're at low speed, steering doesn't require much effort at all. It's very light and easy to use, unlike rivals such as the Holden Colorado 7. But when you go a bit faster, the steering weights up. There's less assistance coming through from the electric motor, which means you've got to use your muscles a little bit more, and it just gives you a bit more feel and confidence in what's going on underneath you with the car. Another thing I really like about this top-end Everest is the driver's instrument cluster. You've got a conventional speedo in the middle with 2 screens on either side that you can customize to show whatever you want. Fitted as standard with 7 seats, the Everest is optimized for comfort and safety with air vents and airbags for all 3 rows. It's also practical with 4 12-volt power outlets and a household power point in the cabin, along with a powered tailgate and power folding rear seats that produce a flat cargo area. So one of the things that makes the Everest special is that it's an SUV that you can really go and have adventures with and take it off-road. Now, right now we're going down quite a steep slope and we're using the car's hill descent control system. So I don't have my feet on the brake or the accelerator at all. Now what's interesting is that you actually control the pace of the car via the cruise control. Rather than touching the gas or the brake and doing something that could upset the car just interprets that control as saying, oh, we do want to go a little bit faster. We can do that in a safe and secure manner. One of the other cool features of the Everest is its terrain select mode. Now down here by the gear selector you've got a rotary control with different settings for normal driving, for sand, for rock and slippery surfaces like snow that controls things like the transmission and the throttle control, just basically to make sure that you have the optimum purchase of the road at any given time. It's got a great four-wheel drive system. It has low range, though we're not using it yet today, and it's basically finding no problem whatsoever going through some not really that demanding roads, but on some mud and clay and some various surfaces that would challenge conventional SUVs that don't have the rugged underpinnings that the Everest does. The Everest is set up to do some fairly serious off-road. It's got 225 millimeters of ground clearance and a water wading depth of 800 millimeters, which means you can drive through 80 centimeters of water without having any problems on the car. Here we are, we're going to go through a water crossing. We've just put the car into its low range mode. It's going into a creek. Water right up over the bonnet. That's always fun. Not every driver is going to put their car through that sort of challenge, but it is really refreshing to know that this one can. It's not a regular SUV. Ford is at pains to point out that this is a model that is capable of far more than what your regular family car can do, and that's a good thing, because a lot of people use SUVs and drive SUVs that really aren't that much more capable off-road than a regular family sedan. That's definitely not the case here. We've put the Everest to the test in a variety of ways today, and it has come up shining. Ford has done an outstanding job of taking a rugged work ute and turning it into something that is capable off-road, comfortable on the highway, and suited for family life. But there is one significant shortcoming. The Everest is priced far in excess of logical competitors such as the Mitsubishi Challenger or Isuzu MU-X, costing even more than a bigger Toyota Prado or more luxurious Land Rover Discovery Sport. Set to cost 80 grand on the road in fully loaded form, the Everest price may prove too steep for many Australian buyers to climb.